Well, the tolerance issue is interesting because what tolerance means is I'm stupid and flawed and so are you, so I'll make you a deal. You don't harass me too much about my stupidity and flaws and I'll try to leave you the hell alone too. And that's a pretty good deal for everybody. So that's the tolerance issue, right? It's we're all flawed, and if we demand too much of one another in terms of perfection and unity of belief or even unity of thought or even coherence of thought, then we're going to end up permanently at each other's throats. So we should just try not to make unnecessary enemies. That's tolerance, and it's a good principle. The diversity issue, the tolerance doesn't mean anything goes. That's not tolerance. That's refusal to take responsibility for mature discrimination. And discrimination has also become a dirty word. It's like there's no difference between discrimination and thinking. They're the same thing. Now you might say, well, what about unfair discrimination? It's like, well, that's a whole different issue. It's like if you have person A and person B and they're both equally qualified for a job, there's something wrong if you let something other than their qualifications determine whether or not they should get the job. I mean, no one debates that seriously anymore. You know, so if somebody doesn't get a job because of their race, everybody says, well, you know, what the hell's wrong with you? You're not taking advantage of the person's talent. You're doing society a disservice and you're hurting individuals unnecessarily. You shouldn't do that. It's like, okay, fine. We all agreed about that back in like 1965. That's covered. So, but the idea that anything goes with regards to tolerance and lack of discrimination, that's an entirely different thing. That does not mean that all people are the same or that all abilities are the same or that everything is of equal value. And so there's a big difference between tolerance and nihilism. And so lots of people say tolerance when they mean, well, anything goes, I can do whatever I want, I don't have to be responsible for anything, I don't have to think, and there's no difference between people no matter how they act. It's like, sorry, that's not a philosophy, man. That's a recipe for chaos and disaster.